I'm Gill Withers, a Pilates teacher in Oxfordshire. I'd like to show you some Pilates you can do at home. This is a mat-based class, and I recommend you watch the introductory video, which explains about using props to make yourself safe and comfortable on the floor, and also ways of getting up and down to the mat safely. This class is safe for anyone with osteoporosis, and it's going to make you feel stronger, longer, and improve your coordination. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's begin. We're going to start by lying down on our backs on the mat. Using a head pad, a towel, something to support your head as I described in the video. So you'll have your knees bent, feet on the floor, and just take a moment to settle your body into the mat, feeling the weight of the back of your pelvis, back of your rib cage, back of your head on the mat. Feet, just wiggle the feet, toes side to side. Just notice your feet on the floor, and then the back of the arms heavy on the mat. From here, just bring some awareness to your breathing. Breathing in and exhale. Gently breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose and exhale. Breathe in, and on your next exhale, tilt your pelvis towards you. And on your inhale, tilt your pelvis away from you. So that you are moving your pelvis forward and back. Notice as you tilt the pelvis away from you, you get an arch in the lower spine, space underneath you as you tilt your pelvis towards you. The spine finds the ground. And maybe this movement of the spine travels up to your head. Don't force it, but allow it to happen if it is doing so. So as we move the pelvis, we are moving the spine, articulating the spine beautifully. All right, now, find a place for your pelvis, which is midway between your tuck towards you and your tuck away from you, a midpoint. And from here, we're going to do some little clocks or circles. So what I'd like you to do is tilt your pelvis towards you. That's 12 o'clock. And then you're going to roll round past 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, round to 9 o'clock, back to 12. And do 3 more in that direction. So you're making circular movements with the pelvis. The image of the clock sort of helps you find a smooth circle. And again, notice that this movement of the spine the movement of the pelvis is also moving the spine. Let's reverse those circles. So I tilt to 12. Now I'm at 9, round to 6, round to 3, back to 12. So the same number around on this side. And you might notice one side feels very different to the other. That's very normal. And just enjoy the movement rolling around the pelvis. All right. And then when you've finished your circle, settle, and again find that point for the pelvis, which is midway between the two tilting positions you did earlier. Now what I'd like you to do is push down into your feet and just notice how your pelvis becomes a little bit lighter. It maybe comes off the floor a little bit. So breathe in to prepare. Exhale, push down with the feet. And notice how the pelvis starts to lift up. Exhale, standing into the feet. Pelvis lifts up. You are starting to lift up your torso with your legs. The next time you do it, I want you to add the idea of your knees now going over your toes. Breathing in and exhale, rolling yourself back onto the mat. Breathing in, exhale, stand into your feet, send your knees away from you, your spine will start to lift off the mat a little bit more. Hold it there, breathe in and exhale, roll yourself down. At this point you may want to remove your head pad as we start to come up higher. Breathing in, exhale, stand into the feet, send the knees away from you, and now feel that the whole leg, thigh bone is stretching away from you and come up maybe a little bit higher, but no higher than your shoulder blades. So both shoulder blades are nicely on the mat. Breathe in here, exhale as you melt the spine down, rolling it down the mat. This time as you come up, we're going to add another image. Breathe in, exhale, stand into the feet, send the knees away from you, thigh bones now really stretching away. Give yourself an imaginary ball between the knees. Squeeze that ball. Lovely, really, really nice. Breathe in here. Exhale, soften the breastbone and melt yourself all the way back down to the starting point. Remember, you can stop at any point, but if it's still feeling okay, let's do one last one. Breathing in, exhale, stand into your feet, send your knees over the toes, feel your body start to lift up, send the thigh bones away from you, squeeze the ball between your knees, lovely. Breathe in here, exhale, soften the breastbone and melt yourself all the way down. Now you may well feel that you've worked really hard on the backs of the legs and in the bottom, and that's great news, but it would be very, very nice now just to have those knees in, maybe just give those muscles that feel they've worked a little pat, a bit of congratulatory pat. There you go. All right, and then put one leg and then the other leg back down, feet on the ground, and let's float both arms now up towards the ceiling. And I want you to just move your shoulder blades a little bit. Feel that you're spreading your shoulder blades out across the floor so that you're wide across the front of the shoulders, wide across the back of the shoulders. Now what I want you to do is send your fingers towards the ceiling. And then bring those arms back. Inhale as we send the fingers towards the ceiling and feel the shoulder blades come sliding round the rib cage. And exhale as the shoulder blades come sliding back towards the mat. So this is a shoulder blade exercise. See if you can keep your elbows straight, not locked, but that the elbows are not trying to help you out here. You're trying to get lovely freedom of movement around the shoulder blades and the shoulders. Fabulous. All right, then float the arms down and we're going to roll over onto our fronts. And if you've watched the introductory video, you'll know there's an option of putting a rolled up towel underneath your ankles if they feel a little bit uncomfortable. And you're going to lie on your front with your hands underneath your forehead. And just like we did when we were lying on our backs, just settle yourself into the mat, wiggling yourself into a comfortable position. Have your forehead resting on your hands. And now what I want you to do is you're going to push down with your forearms into the mat and notice that that will begin to lift your head and upper back just a little bit higher. And we could add some breath here. Breathe in to lift up. Exhale to come down. Breathe in to lift up just by pushing my arms down. And exhale down. Lovely. Now what I want you to do is push your forearms now are going to be parallel to the sides of the mat, parallel to the sides of your body, and choose an angle here that is nice for you. My elbows are close to underneath my shoulders. They could be a little bit further forward, whatever feels good for you. And what I want you to feel here is that you are not sagging down through your middle, because this will put some pressure into your lower back. So I want you to feel that you are pushing down with your forearms again, just like you did when they were underneath your head. And that is going to lift up your tummy and can protect your lower back. If that's not comfortable for you, then go back to the first version. All right, from here, breathing in. And as you exhale, send your breastbone forward. And feel you give yourself just a little bit more extension, arch in that upper back. And release. Breathe in. Exhale, send that breastbone forward, push down with your forearms, and maybe think of the forearms trying to pull towards your waist. And release. Last one. As you send the breastbone forward, arms pulling towards your waist. Think of your legs lengthening away from you, crown of the head, lifting up towards the ceiling. Lovely. And then from here, lower yourself down and put your hands underneath your forehead again. If this position isn't comfortable for the arms, then of course you've got your head pad and you could perhaps use that for your forehead instead and have your hands just wherever feels comfortable for you. Now we're going to move our attention to our legs. So what I want you to do is just begin by lengthening one leg away from you and placing it back down. Lengthen the other one, place it back down. One more each side. We're just trying to open out space in the hip joint. Great. All right, so from here, what I want you to do now, the movement is you will first of all, you'll lengthen the leg away from you, and then you're going to lift it up and lower it back down. Other side, lengthen it away first, then lift it and lower. So this movement is quite small, but it's really great for strengthening the backs of the legs, opening out the front of the hips. So a really nice exercise for counteracting lots of sitting in chairs and for strengthening our legs, for getting up and down from the mat, quite apart from up and down from other things too. That's great. So just do 1 or 2 more, checking you've evened up, you've done the same number on both sides. Great. Now from here we're going to get into the quadruped position. So here you're coming up onto your hands and knees. And in my introductory video, I talked about using a towel underneath the wrists, a towel underneath the ankles if you need it, and possibly one underneath the knees. So once you've sorted yourself out with your props, what I want you to feel here is that your hand is underneath your shoulder, your knee is underneath your hips, and your back is beautifully straight. So it's as though we're a table now. Push down gently with your hands and your shins, and just feel that help support your body now. And you're just going to hinge backwards and forwards a little bit, just with a nice straight back. So we've got a little bit of hinge going on in the hip joints and the shoulder joints in particular. Great. And that is just a nice introduction to the quadruped. We'll come back and do some more exercises later, but also for you, a judgment of how comfortable you were on the hands and knees. All right, so now we're going to go back onto our backs, and I'm going to get my head pad. So I'm using my head pad, settling myself onto the mat again, finding that middle position of the pelvis, feeling the shoulders are nice and wide, my head is in a good position. And now what I want you to do is lengthen one leg down long on the floor and bring the other leg up and hug it in towards you. You can either hold it on the top, if that's uncomfortable, hold it underneath the back of the knee. And now what we're interested in here is opening out the front of the hip on the leg that's long, and on the leg that's bent, then now we're getting a big stretch through the back of the pelvis, back of the hip area. So we've got a real contrast between the long leg and the bent leg. And the leg that's long, can you feel that you're pushing the back of the thigh bone towards the mat? And that maybe as you do that, can you feel that's a little bit of a bigger stretch there? And then the other leg, as you pull it in towards you, trying to keep the rest of the torso level, you're not twisting, rolling, just a nice, easy stretch. Lovely. So now we'll swap sides. So we'll bring the other leg in close to us, lengthen the leg along the mat. Feel that we're trying to push the back of the thigh into the mat. It's just an idea, but that pressure downwards will open the front of the hip a little bit more. And then this one is getting a nice stretch around here. All right, now place both feet on the ground, knees bent, pelvis in a nice neutral, that midpoint position, arms by your side. Now what I want you to do is you are going to press down with one leg and let the other leg float up. And then the leg will come back down on the ground. I will press down with it so that the other one can float up. So we press down as we find the floor, and then this one comes up nice and lightly. And we can add some breath to this. So exhale as we lift up. Inhale as the leg goes down. Exhale as the other leg comes up. Inhale as it goes down. This time as you bring it up, imagine that you're pulling it with a string, nice and easy. And the other side, nice and easy. Think about your pelvis at this point. Is it level from side to side? And actually, this is quite a big, strong abdominal exercise as we lift alternate legs up and down. All right. Let's finish there with the legs. Let's put more attention with the arms. And we're going to do some arm circles. And there's a version here with bent elbows, hands on the top of your shoulders, just a nice, that's a beautiful arm circle. And the other version is with long arms, so we return to the arms facing each other up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to take the arms overhead, round to the sides, down beside the side of your body, back up again. So here's the beautiful circle. Now what I want you to notice is both that you've got really nice movement around the shoulders. So reduce the range of these circles if this feels uncomfortable. We're going to reverse the circles now. And the other thing I want you to watch out for is whether you are keeping your spine the same shape on the mat. If you feel the spine is arching, particularly as the arms go overhead, then reduce the range. You want to keep the torso nice and stable, and of course that becomes an abdominal exercise too. All right, let's bring the arms back down by your side. You're going to roll over and we're going to get into the quadruped position again. So use whichever towel props is helpful for you. And here we're going to do some nice spinal movements. Remember, we thought this of a table when we were here earlier. So press into the shins, press into the hands. At the same time, feel you're lifting your arms up to find your shoulders. And now we're going to do a little curve in the back and then into a big arch. A small curve in the back and a big arch. Think of animals, how they stretch their spines. And see if you can visualize moving like your cat or your dog or any animal that comes to mind, that you are creating a beautiful movement with that spine. Last one, and then you finish back in that table idea. And if you're feeling pressure on the wrists, then let's just come back. This is called the shell stretch in Pilates. And this is a nice way of taking the pressure off the hands. There's also a nice way of relaxing the lower back. If that's uncomfortable, then any position on the way to that is good. And you see my lower back is still nice and opened there. All right, so back onto your hands and knees. And now what I want you to notice is that you've got equal pressure between both hands. And then you've got equal pressure between both shins. Now what I want you to do is push down with the right hand and the left shin a little bit. And then transfer weight to the other side. So down with my right hand, left shin. And then down with my left hand, right shin. This time as I push down with my right hand, left shin, my left hand can come off the floor easily. Let's try the other side. Push down with the left hand, right shin. My right hand can come off easily. Now stay with that version if that feels right for you. But if you want now to start extending that arm out in front of you before you bring it back, that's great. And then the other side. So I'm pushing down with my left hand, right shin. My right arm can stretch out in front of me. We'll do one more each side. So I transfer the weight before I lift my arm. I transfer my weight. The hand has now no longer taken any weight bearing, so I can float it off. Fabulous. Back into a little bit of a shell stretch, just to release. And then from here, we're coming up to standing. Remember, thinking again about a safe way of getting up from the floor so that you're not using your back, you're using your legs. Right, to finish, we're going to do a little bit of breath work and then finish with some shoulder rolls. So put your feet directly under your hip joints, which are sort of in the middle of each leg coming down. So there your legs are hip distance apart. And just stand into those feet like you were doing when you were lying on the mat, and feel as you stand into the feet, you just grow a little bit. And then place your hands on either side of your ribs. And you're going to breathe in and exhale. Breathe in and exhale. Last one as you breathe in and exhale. And just bring your arms down by your side. That's just given us some nice deep breaths, which is great for us. And we've just opened out the shoulders a little bit more. Now what I want you to do, using your breath, inhale, take your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, slide them down. Inhale, take them up towards your ears. Exhale, slide them down. Inhale, take them up. Exhale, take them down. Place your hands on your head. Feel as though your head is trying to push up into your hands, your feet pushing down into the ground. And then bring one arm down by your side, the other arm down by your side, and you're done. Thank you very much for joining me today. Bye-bye.